So my video cut off because it said I didn't have enough space. So I created some space and hopefully all will go well now. All right. So where it cut off that I saw was that a lot of people were going through a great deal emotionally, mentally, physically during these super moons. And I wish I saw that the video had stopped recording sooner because I'm not exactly sure what I said in terms of what related to what I'm about to read. All right. I'll just start with the basics that are most important for what I'm about to read is that um, the guy, the man who I'm in love with, still so weird for me to accept. So I told him about The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and I sent him an audio recording of it on YouTube. Jeremy Irons does a great audio recording of The Alchemist on YouTube. And I listened to it between Saturday night and Monday night. As to this man, it was awesome. Fantastic story. And at the end of it, well, throughout the story, but at the very end, throughout the story, the author talks about living your legend, living your life's purpose, and basically following your heart, following your bliss, as Joseph Campbell said. And I realized at the end, this whole live your legend reminded me of this guy, Scott Dinsmore's motto. I'm so tired. Forgive me. I'm in rare form tonight. So his motto was live your legend, and he based his whole website and his movement on living your legend. And after hearing The Alchemist, I got it. I didn't know that that they, were so intertwined. And I went to his Instagram page or site where he'd been posting different photos about travels that he's been doing since January with his wife Chelsea. And there's different times I've made comments, and I really love his enthusiasm and what he has to say. I first came across him on YouTube when he did a video that went viral, like over 2 million hits, about, I believe, like finding work that you love to do and living a life of, authenticity, something along those lines. And his enthusiasm is very contagious. So, when I went to his Instagram page after listening to The Alchemist, and it was very moving, I saw people say things like "rest in peace" and something about that being his last post. They were sad that they would never see a post from him, and I thought, what the fuck? What happened? And apparently, like, his last post was going off the grid. He's going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and come to find out, during his climb, a boulder rolled across him or somehow hit him, and he died. And though I never met him, the most of an exchange I've had with him was just via Instagram, via comments. But he felt like a kindred spirit. It felt like losing a person in my extended family or something. It was shocking. He was only 33, and it was hard to take. And I really felt for his wife, because I knew he was, he went out in a blaze of glory doing what he loved to do. But I thought about, oh my God, how Chelsea must feel and must have felt when that happened, because it was only him, and he was, from what I read, that she was still alive. So it's funny that yesterday is when I received an email from their website that I feel like is very good to share with everyone right now. It encompasses a lot of what I've been feeling lately throughout these difficulties of transitioning, with being in love, not just with this person, but with life itself and all that I have to learn and grow from it. So this is Chelsea's response to the Live Your Legend community about her husband's death. To the amazing Live Your Legend community, First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for the outpouring of love and support. While I have needed to focus my efforts elsewhere right now, please know that every single word will be read. Every single thought is appreciated, and every single well wish is felt by me and by all of Scott's friends and family. This community is an amazing gift that Scott left for us. Thank you for being a part of it. I am not going to lie about this being a daunting thing to write. To be quite honest, I don't even know how to begin to talk about what I have experienced every day over the past few weeks. There are no words that can fully describe the disbelief I still feel, the pain that I wake up to every morning, and the uncertainty in the life that I have ahead of me. Scott is my husband. He is my best friend. He is someone who I have plans with for many, many more years to come. He is my protector. He is my partner. He is the love of my life. He is so much more to me than words will ever be able to convey. I know I have a long road ahead of me, and I am trying my best to do what Scott always talked about. Take unbelievably small steps. Steps so small that I can't fail. The big picture is too daunting to imagine, so I'm trying to focus on what I can do today, this hour, this minute. Eventually, I know those steps will add up to something greater. So here's to me being honestly and unapologetically me. If there's one thing I learned over and over during our trip this year, and it is proving to be true now more than ever, it is that we are so much stronger than we think we are. If someone would have told me this was going to happen, I honestly would have told you that I would lock myself in a dark room and never come out. I would have told you that this was impossible. And there are plenty of moments that I feel that way. But the resiliency of the human spirit has surprised me. We are so much stronger than we think we are. And that's in bold print. And I 100% agree. And oftentimes, we won't even know how strong we are until we're tested. Back to our letter. Something gave me the strength to get down that mountain on September 12th. Something gave me the strength to get home from Africa. And something is giving me the strength to write these words. To be honest, I am still sorting out exactly what that is. And trust me, I don't feel it all the time. But I know the people I have in my life, the beauty in the world, and the deep belief that there is something mighty for me to do have helped guide me. Instead of diving into the depths of what I don't have, I am clinging to what I do have. Love that. Scott left me and all of us with so many of his wise words. While I know he never envisioned this situation, his principles still ring true. I've tried to take his wisdom and apply it to the situation. Here are a few ways that I have used his passionate work framework to help me get through each day. And personally, I'm hoping that it will help other people as well. Become a self-expert. And there are, I think, 5 key points. All right. Meditation. I told this to this guy that I'm in love with the Taurus. I was like, meditate. It was one of the biggest and most fundamental things that have changed my life for the better forever. It started like 20 years ago. It's just been awesome. Anyway, every morning I begin the day with 10 to 15 minutes of seated meditation. This is the absolute first thing I do. I don't turn on my phone. It stays on airplane mode. While Scott had a regular morning meditation practice, this type of meditation is new for me, and I have found Headspace to be very helpful. And Headspace is a website. Number 2, write. I follow that meditation with journaling. I write down everything I am feeling, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I write down the things I am grateful for each day. I write down the things I'm not so grateful for, and I do this all throughout the day. If I think it, it gets written down. 3, be outdoors. I spend time outside every day. It is a big, beautiful world out there, and being outside helps me get perspective and reflect on all that I am thinking, feeling, and experiencing. I do this in the form of walks, drinking my cup of tea outside, and watching the sunrise and or sunset. 4, limit distractions. For the time being, I have completely removed all social media from my phone. It would be so easy to distract myself by checking Facebook right now. But I know that what is important right now is not Facebook. What is important is connecting with family and friends in person and over the phone. What's important right now is to be with my thoughts. Scott was incredibly passionate about this topic, as many of you saw in his last blog post. 5, be vulnerable. I feel more vulnerable than I have ever felt. I feel more exposed than I have ever felt. I'm terrified to be writing this, but once again, I am asking Scott's lead. Scott reminded all of us so often of the importance of being ourselves, and he led by example. I know I am probably not doing this right. I know in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead, I will feel many different emotions. But I am doing something. I am being me. I am letting love in. That's one of the few things I can do right now. Lastly, this is another subheader under after become a self-expert. It goes on to do the impossible, which in part of that it says, respect the process. I think it is safe to say that I'm currently doing the impossible, something Scott preached religiously. In doing that, I'm trying my hardest to respect the process. A great lesson I learned from the grief call we held last week. I know I can't rush it. It's a process that takes a lot of time, and the only way through it is to feel it. This is going to be the longest physical and emotional feat of my life. Unfortunately, there are no shortcuts. So I need to focus on one impossibly small step at a time. And the third of the major headers is surround yourself with people doing the impossible. Find others who have done it. I don't know how to do this, but others do. Therefore, I have sought out some amazing women to talk to learn from, to see how they did it, and to find some of my own strength through theirs. It's helpful to remind myself that everything was impossible until someone did it. While I grow through this process, and it will be a process, I do want to reassure you that Scott created this movement to be larger than himself. He has an incredible team that I love, trust, and enjoy collaborating with. And he created a global community of amazing people that all believe in the same thing. And even though this is new for all of us, we will learn how to do it together. Scott's mission will live on because it is too powerful and too important not to. Thank you again for your love, for your support, and for being here. Chelsea Dinsmore. I have so much respect and love for her because I can only imagine. It's not just losing someone that you love, it's the shock of it. How suddenly it happened. How in the prime of their lives. I mean, it's one thing when you're, 70, 80 years old, you think, you've had a long life together, but I can only imagine how she feels. Waking up every day and realizing that her reality is that her amazing husband is gone. So, it just makes all of it that much more powerful for me. And want to share these things with you and everyone, to not take any moment for granted, to live your authentic life. It's my cat chiming in there. And do your best to love yourself and others as much as possible. On through the impossible. I will be back tomorrow with information regarding this time of year, since we have now transitioned to the Libra time of year, also known as the Crow in Native American lore and mythology. Thank you for watching and listening. I love you.